But while you're hanging out, I'm on a couple of different NSF grants. One of them has to do with this energy coordination network. And the idea behind this network that Amy Cox, my Dean of Trades, is leading is to, hey, thank you, Robert, air fist bump. So the point of this network is to kind of help, I've heard a couple people say smart grid in here, and the idea, with building automation controls is to eventually respond to utilities. I mean, I was having conversations about even our home programs and how they're messing with your thermostat, right? Sometimes. Controlling it, not messing with it. So the idea with this energy coordination network is to bring together industry folks and other colleges to share, trending things that are happening and curriculum to help to create the infrastructure needed for the smart grids and smart buildings that we have. So here's the Great Lakes Energy Education Center. This sculpture showed up one day. The title of it has energy in it, but otherwise I don't know what it's about. But anyways, the point is for me to talk about this network right now. And if your colleges are looking to find curriculum that has to do with electric power distribution, gas utilities, which are becoming more important as we transition to renewables, we have more of these, reciprocating gas units that are coming online and offline quickly to respond to renewable energy. I just want to promote that. Telecommunications. So does this sound useful to anybody? Maybe if your colleges are looking into these kind of programs, I think you might be interested in joining that network. If you are, please sign up through nwtc.edu/energy network. It will link you, once you join, you get linked to, anybody, I guess, could go to our micro site. Scroll up. Is that what you're...
Are you working with the Energy Center for Energy Workforce Consortium?
CEWD. Or am I thinking something else? Yeah. We have contacted them, and Amy's given a couple presentations at their conferences, but I know they have a similar effort going, right? Yeah. And they've got a really big network kind of built up. Right now, ours has a lot of members from the Midwest, so kind of the folks that are on our advisory committees and...
There was Wisconsin. I don't know if there were a lot of people. There was Wisconsin too.
Yeah, like a chapter of that. Yeah, I think that is going to be a good resource for us to promote this.
What was that again?
The Consortium of Energy Workforce Development.
Yep.
Yeah, so.
It's a national effort.
Not chronic wasting disease, but E. Put an E in there.
It's a bunch of HR people that we're trying to figure out how do we get people interested in jobs and what we're doing right now.
Yeah, just to give you an idea of, just the resources that we hope to build as this grant goes on. And I know I'm supposed to talk about a lesson, but I think that this grant is funding part of my hotel stay. I was trying to promote this here, doing a couple of jobs here. But, for our gas, utility, and construction service, this is just an example. The curriculum is on here, example schedule, stuff like that your college may be interested in checking out. Okay. I saw a couple of pens going. That's great.
The address?
The website address?
Yeah.
It is nwtc.edu/energy network. If you check that out, you can sign up there. This ATE microsite that I'm showing right now is ate.is/UECN. Okay, thanks for listening to that spiel. And I saw a couple of pens going, so I hope that we'll see more people joining the network as you might find the resources helpful. Okay, so the other thing I'm really here to talk about, I'm on the agenda to talk about a lesson. And the lesson that I have is part of a class called Smart Start to BAS, Smart Start to Building Automation Systems, that we are developing for high schools in our area. So right now we have 6 high school tech ed teachers signed up to teach this course. And 1 week ago, I just taught them all the curriculum in one day. So you know how that goes. It's going to be an interesting fall once they start to implement it. And I'm really excited about it, though. So let me show you a lesson or two in this curriculum. If you want to look through it yourself, feel free to jump on your PCs and click on this link. Ted, I tried to just drag the folder into this of all, you know, it seemed like it wouldn't start loading. Maybe it would take all night or something because there's videos and stuff. So
It goes better if if you create a folder and you drag all your files.
okay, do it individually. Well, if somebody could try the SharePoint link just to make sure it works. If it doesn't, I put my contact on there and we'll figure this out. So a couple of the lessons, or at least just to show you kind of what the course has. And I'm not sure how to blow this up, so I'll have to kind of read this off to you. So the course overall is meant for high school students, and it's part of a certificate program where they have to take DC electricity, they have to take automation 1 and 2, and then to put those classes into context, they get this course called Smart Start to BAS. And this is a list of the lessons and assessments that go with that course. So just like Connie, we had to scramble and put together lessons, and you're doing it for multiple courses. We just had one. And I had some help putting some of these lessons together. We hired a retired high school teacher, Scott, who fell asleep in the back of Bob's classroom that day when we came to visit. He's not here, so I can pick on him. I'd pick on him if he was here, too. But you'll see the curriculum goes through what's in an energy bill and also some energy conversion. So again, for high schools or just very basic lessons in energy, because this curriculum does lead through an associate's degree in energy management. So we start off with that. Some of the lessons that I think you guys might be interested in is watts from the sun. That actually uses a small solar panel and an open circuit where they use a digital multimeter, and just learning Ohm's law, like really basic stuff, but they're using a solar panel. It makes it kind of fun that way. The graphics in there are really cool too, in terms of very clear infographics. And there's instructor's guides for many of these lessons, thanks to Scott. So I shouldn't make fun of him. So let me show you this, and I only got 9 minutes to really focus on a different one. But check this out. I mean, the infographic is just really nice. You know, power is as easy as pi, and I really like what he did with the definitions for watts and volts and Ohm's law overall on this one. So the curriculum just goes through kind of the basics, and then we get into home appliances. So we got to introduce HVAC as part of this class. So we have students look at their home appliances. What's controlling your home appliances? What controls your water heater? What controls your heating and cooling at home? So real basic stuff. So they actually, if they have their parents' permission, take pictures. If they don't have access to that, then they get pictures off the internet, and they kind of just talk about what controls each of these things. So very basic. And then we start to talk about commercial building health and the variables that lead to health and comfort, and electricity demand basics. So earlier in the class, they look at their own energy bills. Well, then in this lesson, they look at commercial building energy. And I don't know if you guys in your controls get into demand management, but that is so important in building controls and managing costs. So that lesson is fantastic. Mostly it's written by Scott. He's got a great set of questions and PowerPoint slides on how to manage commercial demand. But I want to show you in the last couple of minutes that I have, well, what our trainers look like when we get into the last couple of lessons here about building automation system communication and controller basics. not only are we giving away solar panels, digital multimeters funded by the National Science Foundation, but Bob and Contemporary Controls helped me set up, I guess this might be
This Bob?
This Bob.
this Bob, the Bob, Reverend Bob, I think he goes by.
Came down and hung out.
Bishop.
Yeah, we went, and Ted was there too. So we set up, I've been talking with a few of you here about this trainer that we have set up on these aluminum trays. Now, why did we do this? It's kind of expensive, right? The base and all that. Well, the courses these high school teachers teach are all based on these aluminum tray trainers. So I wanted to follow kind of the same format with the rack they all have and everything. But what I really like that we did is I worked with the printing department at our college, and they created this really durable graphic on the base of that trainer. So we've got a boiler, a chiller loop running through central air handler, and then the controls. I mean, the control is like basic as basic can be, but there's potential we can grow now that I'm learning so much about the BAS view. The controller is BAS Pi network to the view. And we just have really simple things set up for occupancy in this room with a thermistor input and a fan and a halogen light to function as like the VAV's heating coil. So it's really simple, but check it out. It's colorful. I mean, trying to hook students into this, right?
I don't even know what a thermostat is at that point. I mean, that's perfect.
Yeah, just really basic. And then, the lessons, this is just an example. We've got videos that kind of go through controller basics and behind the scenes what they're looking at. They measure with their digital multimeter, the inputs and outputs on here. They have to draw, very basic wiring to the control. I mean, again, this is for high school and very introductory lessons. This is a quick glimpse at the two screens that we have set up for them. So we have occupied set point, unoccupied temperature set point, and those lessons towards the end of the curriculum go through energy savings. We have a website they go to where they can calculate energy savings by setting up an occupancy schedule. So they go through a lesson on occupancy, set up an occupancy schedule, and then calculate the energy savings from that. So that's a really quick look at this, and along with that, please feel free to explore the lessons in there. Like Connie mentioned, a lot of this is new, and I look for feedback, especially from you guys. You guys have really helped me get this far, and I appreciate it. So one other thing in my last couple of minutes, I can give credit to Ted. Ted, we took you've gone to give talks at different conferences, and you have everyone log into a Hobo data logger.
Oh, yeah.
So we spent, I think it was 400, it's more than that. Let's see. We got these. Oh boy, they're $600, but you can get like $200 ones that don't do this much. But we got the ones with the carbon dioxide on them, and students go through a lesson about controlling outdoor air and how much energy that would save with CO2 sensors rather than just an occupancy schedule. So really basic stuff, but these are really fun. They can use their cell phones, they can use an app, and what we have them do is launch the data logger, find a good place in the room that makes sense to put it, and then let it run for several days, print off the results, and then we have them look at comfort standards. And I introduced a psychrometric chart with this. I'm like, usually we talk about this comfort window, and I only use temperature and relative humidity. I say we don't put all the lines on there this lesson. But just looking at this little window, did you go in or out of the comfort zone? And we talk about the CO2 levels. Did you exceed the CO2 levels that ASHRAE recommends? And we talk about those standards. But this one's kind of fun. Yeah.
Hobo's got a little Bluetooth, just temperature only pendant, $65.
Fun. Yeah.
So that's something to be really easy, inexpensive, where you can utilize. It'd be great for tying into what Robert was talking about this morning, set of trends. You have all the same issues you gotta think about.
Yeah, that would
I
be,
wish I had that CO2 on Sunday when I was in Chicago in the theater. They're blowing, my daughter said, CO2 into the room as a haze, you know? Because it's supposed to be cool.
You're falling asleep.
You know, I didn't feel like I was falling asleep. But, so I wanted to monitor that. It's gonna go to-
putting you in a haze. So like, this is the coolest show I've seen. But thanks. I didn't know what I was going to go through with my time, but there's a lot for you to look at. Thank you, Peter.
So, Jen, I think you're going to go into more detail on Friday, but how's the program going? These are your trainers in the box, and
Yes.
you built them yourself?
Yeah, thanks for asking. So I had to get a lot of help from people like Bob, our electromechanical folks who already build these trainers for the DC electricity and automation classes they teach. So once I had the components, then I built them along with a couple of students that we were able to hire as work study outside of the grant, which thank goodness for them. I made sure to pick 2 first-year students. And I said, now that you know all this stuff, you still got to graduate. But both of them are working at a place called Automated Energy Solutions this summer. I mean, they're hireable from a lot of this. They help me program the points like we're doing in BAS View. But I was like, you still got more to learn. Yeah, stick around. So yeah, we built that.
How's the program going?
Oh yeah, how's it going? So we taught the 6 high school teachers, and they have this set up in their high schools where most of them have their one block where they teach NWTC transcribed credit classes. So I feel pretty optimistic that we're going to get people to take this Smart Start to BAS course, because these teachers already kind of have this open block where their students can kind of just get through whatever credits they can work through within that block of time that they have throughout the school year in their tech ed courses. As far as my energy management program, like I mentioned yesterday, this is hopefully going to be a big recruitment tool, because energy management technology, that's just been kind of the pet they keep going at my college. It barely has any students in it every year, and I'm grateful to maintain my position. I feel like they just keep it going.
So, one other question. Will this be kind of like a bridge course? And I guess it'll kick off in the fall. It's not for credit for the college per se.
It is, they earn a college credit, and
Articulated.
correct. Yeah, they call it transcribed. Semantics, you might be able to tell me more by. But yeah, it's transcribed credit, and this is all part of a new building energy and comfort control certificate that was approved by the state. And they take these transcribed credits that are available in high school. Those are the starred ones. And then these 2 are part of the credit that they would take through NWTC. But then it all feeds into an associate's degree if they continue on. And the CEM is a new thing. We got approved to be a CEM education provider just this spring.
If you get dual credit with something like this is awesome. Just for people that just can't put together an HVAC lab, just to get people understanding energy and HVAC. It's awesome.
From the baby level, yeah.
Yeah, well, they have no idea even what HVAC is. They're like, what? Huh? Is that a new video game?
Yeah, that's why it's good to have people like me to do this part, because I just listened to the Modbus talk and I was like, oh, I got lots more to learn. Okay, that's all. Unless anybody else has any other questions, we can talk.
Jenny, do you foresee yourself having to get all partially in the student recruitment?
I am, I don't know about you guys, but yeah, we've been to different events, and I've gone to the high schools to talk to these tech ed classes, and that's been before this project. So yes, I've been trying to recruit as much as possible with my pedal power bicycle. I bring that to the farmers markets and all kinds of things, so yeah. Do you all get involved with recruitment?
Oh, Ted, you laugh now.
Okay, thanks for your time.